Right, welcome back. This is the second video for the bottle, and what we're going to try and create this time, this is the original drawing, is this little detent that's in the base here. If I flip over to the one we've just created on there, you'll notice no detent there at all. Now to do this, I'm actually going to go back in time thinking, because it's a lot easier if you do all these little twiddly bits before you thicken. It can also present problems, but it depends on the complexity of what you're doing. But what I would suggest for this one at the moment is if you just lift that up and go back one, and just to double check there, just split that there, you can see we're now down to wafer thin or wafer thin skin on the bottle itself. So go back from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to offset that surface in by 2mm. There are several ways of doing this, but this is the easiest way I find. I could just do a cut, etc., but I need something to go to. So if I go back to, surface is still here. So what I'm going to do is go up to a thing called offset surface, and I've lost it. I can't see where it is. I've got replace surface, offset surface, there we go. Right, it's asking me for which one to do, and it's got default of 10. So I want to click on that one, and you'll notice automatically it's come out. I don't want that, I want to reverse that, and I want to go in by 2mm and reverse the offset. This is what we're going to sort of lead up to from that. And just to prove that it's there, I'll just come out of that. So I've done what I want to do there. You can't see it there. If I now go to the tool, you'll see, if I just agree to that, lots of it, you'll see that there's another plane in on the inside of it, and that is 2mm. There it says 2mm from that surface. So it's just a little bit of an indent for it. So let me come out of that. So what I want to do now is actually create a cutting tool to cut this bottom out from it. To do that, I'm going to go to sketch, and I'm going to just pick up that bottom surface there for that. And again, I'm going to go to convert entities, do that, and there I have a sketch from there. Now from that sketch, if I go back to my surface menu, I'm going to extrude surface, and it should go in, and you can see it's gone that way. I actually want it to go the opposite way, but I'll go direction 2 this way. Just go in 10mm, and what I'm going to do is actually on that second one, I'm going to give it a little bit of a cut. It doesn't like that, does it? Because it's disappeared. Let's switch that off. It's probably because 3 degrees is too much. But you'll see. I don't actually need to do a cut, but I like to taper it so the actual bit's small and it gives me that in there. So what I could do is just actually take off that. Let's just try it this way. Let's go swap that one around so it's gone in. I just double clicked on that one, and let's just give it a slight taper, and you saw that move there. Okay, so I'm just going to agree to that. Actually no, we'll go second one. I'm going to come out, there we go. That should be right. It's already got a 3 degree tape on it. It's like mirrored, but it doesn't really matter. It's just so I've got something to cut through, because it might not cut if I don't do that. So let's just agree to that. Okay, so you see that sticking out the bottom. So that's my cutting tool. So what I'm going to do, or my trim tool, so what I'm going to do is go to trim surface, and it's asking me trim tool. So it's already selected the extrude surface extrude one, and it's asking me what I want to remove. So I want to take that inner one. Okay, and also there's other bits in there, so I really need to see what I'm doing, or I can do that again. Do it again. So I'm just going to cancel this. I'm going to go to my section tool again, And this hopefully will demonstrate a lot more clearly what we're trying to do. Because what you can see there, if I zoom in, you can't actually see it there. It has actually cut slightly into the other tool. I could increase that taper, but it's fine for now. So if I go to trim again, okay, it's asking me the trim tool, so I'm going to click on that there, and then what I want to take away is that face there. Okay, and if I go in here, I can't actually see what I'm doing. Is it going to see? Yeah, if I zoom right in, I just wonder if that's, yes, around that side. See, it's just picked it up, that little orange. Click on there, and if I do that, all that should disappear, and it's left me with that there. It's also left me with this here, which I could use. Let's just try, because I was going to show you something else to do, but let's just see if we can do it with this here. So let's go to trim again, but this time let's just take that out, clear selection, and let's use that as my trim tool. Okay, it's already automatically doing it, so let's take that off. Okay, so that's taken that down, and let's do that again. So let's go to trim, trim again. So what I want cutting, I want that as my cutting tool this time. Okay, it's not allowing me, so let's just clear selection. Let's try once more. Take that. Okay, and then it should just take that bottom off. So what it's left me is actually left me with that gap that I filled. So if I go off that, come back in, you can now see I have a little detent in there to actually play with. Now, before I do that, to put some radiuses on there, I'm just going to pull that over and thicken. Now, has it actually thickened the whole thing? It has. Has it thickened the bottom part that we've just done? Who knows? Because we haven't actually knitted that surface that we've just done, and I'll prove that point. So just go on to here. No, it hasn't done it. See that? It's stopped. So what I need to do is just click on that. If I just go back and I go to knit surface on there, so if I go to knit, I already got that one there, and I want to get that in a bit, and I want to get that bit there, and do that. And you can see actually by the fact I've got black lines appeared, I know that's actually worked. So if I just pull that forward to thicken, you can now see that I've got that there. But one other thing I would like to do, because it actually looks a little bit odd, because of that thick surface, it'd be absolutely fine for blow moulding. If I just go back once more on that, and let me put some fillets in. So go to fillet. Let's do 4 mil. Let's do a 2 mil fillet. Let's just get 2 in there, just to show you. Let's do that on that edge there. It might not like it. Let's just see if it does it. It's done it. Excellent. So let's just agree to that. So that's gone in, and then let's do the same exactly again, and see if this will work on here. I'm quite happy just to leave it like that. It probably won't go because it's too big. It's done it. So we now have that fillet there. I think this is actually a better bottle than the first one. I might actually be able to dimension this. So let's now go to thicken, and you'll see why I've done this. Okay, it's thinking about it. It might not like it. It might come back and reject the thing. No, it's done it. Good. So that's given me that surface there. And you see that's a far, far tidier method to do it on that there. I don't know, I know I'm talking to engineers, but in terms of blow moulding, what you'll find is when you've got a bottle doing, you'll have a mould that you actually blow into, and this will be injection moulded with like a test tube shape of plastic. That then goes into the mould. The hot air is then blown in, and the mould is heated as well, and it blows it to the edges of that tool. I'll find a video and I can show you that as well if interested. I'm sure you know, but I thought that just might be of interest. That actually is far tidier than the previous one I actually did. So we've done that. So we're now going to bring that back. What I want to do now is actually put the thread on. The thread is not complicated, but I just need to double check what the pitches are. Right, I need to get the pitch of a thread on here. So to start with, you need to get another plane. So reference geometry, go to plane, off that top surface, and we want to drop down by 3 mil, and there we go, on the top there. So go to sketch and go to, there we go, on top there. I want to convert entities, so I'm going to pick the outer side one there, and you see like your circle has dropped down to by 3 mil onto that point there, and we're going to use that to form the helix. Sorry, Tesco's came to the door. Right, let's do the helix. So if we go to features, we go to curve, you want helix and spiral, and you see it's almost automatically done it for us on there. And funny thing is, because I've done this before, it's actually got the same coordinates that I wanted there, so there's not a lot I need to do. You can change the pitch, the revolutions, etc. within this table here, and actually go clockwise or counterclockwise. Doesn't really matter at the moment for that. So just take those figures for now, and then give that a green tick. So it's actually given us a line. Now what we need to do now is actually put the thread on that, and we need to do another sketch. Now you need to use another plane, and the plane really needs to go onto the end of that line there, which is that point there. Now to do that, and you can do this to put a plane onto end of any line, curve, spline, you name it, and it will be perpendicular to that, is literally go to reference geometry, go to plane. It thinks it's going to do the spiral helix there. I'm just going to click off that. I'm just going to click on it again, just to make sure I've got what I want. It's come this side, and second reference point will be that end point, and you'll notice it has actually switched to that. So all I need to do now is actually draw on there the actual profile of the of the plane. Oh, it's not the plane, sorry, of the thread on it. So let's just agree to that. Let's go to sketch. Okay, and it's gone round the opposite way. So I need to find where the start is. It's up there, so I'm going to try and draw that side. For now, I'm just going to take that plane. Let's just hide it. I can't hide it because I was actually in the sketch. So let's just go ahead and draw. I'm just going to roughly draw this for now. So basically, I'll just zoom right in. I want to go roughly about there to there, out to there, up to there, and back to there. Okay, and I'm going to put a centre line in just to help me out. And do that from about there. This may not work, but we'll see. If not, I'll have to just rewind. We'll go normal 2. It's normal to that face. This is backwards, but hey ho. It's all going to work out the same. So I've got a centre line in there, and I need that to get onto that point there. It won't let me do this. I had this trouble before. So let's just get these symmetrical around a point. And there is sometimes rhyme nor reason as to why certain things work and they don't work. It's just perseverance and just trying it again, deleting it. Actually, I should have had that centered to that one there. I think I've got that as a horizontal, yeah. Because ideally, I just want that to be onto that endpoint, which it's done it now. Good. Well, if you actually look at that, I don't want it to the endpoint of that. I want it slightly lower. So what I'll do, I'm going to change that to a construction line. I'm going to draw another line slightly deeper, parallel to that one. I know it is, and there's a little trim. You've got trim entities, which you've done. You have done extend, so just go to the arrow and go to extend entities. Do that and that. Select, and if I go to trim, I can go through there and that one there. So everything now can be kind of off that, and I need to do the same here. That to there, make that symmetrical. Okay, which is fine. Let's put some dimensions on these. So that's there. I think that should be 2.5. That one there is 1. Okay, and then between there and there, just 0.5 of a mil. Doesn't really matter because it's going to get absorbed into what we're actually up to for that. And the total distance between there and there should be 1.5, which wasn't far off. And I haven't done 1.5. I need to make those. Let's just have a quick look, see what's going on here. Yeah, that's got it hasn't fixed. Okay, so I need that. You see, it won't pick up on that. It kind of should. It should have a Pierce relationship. So that, yeah, good Pierce relationship. There we go. It's done it now. So we're fixed. So all I need to do now, I'm in that sketch, is actually go to features and go to sweep boss base, and it's going to ask me for the profile that we want to sweep. So that is that one, and it's going to ask me for the curvature that it wants to go around, and of course that's the helix we've just put in. And as you can see, it's gone round, and it will actually mate to that. So I'll just give that a green tick. What I should have done, actually should or shouldn't have done, is actually put a small fillet on the sketch there. So I've just agreed to that, and you can see I now have that helix there. So I've got a helical thread actually in place. So what I should do now is actually finish those ends off. So if I go to sketch, and I pick that endpoint, which is done, and if I go to convert entities onto that there, okay, what it's going to do is actually pick up that curve. So ideally what I should be able to do is actually use that line there as a spiral, but I'll show you it doesn't always work for it. So if I go to features now and I go to revolve boss base, it doesn't need to be 360. If I pick that line, it just won't pick it. So the easiest way to do is come out of that, go back into sketch, sketch a line, and actually almost what I would say is actually convert that one to a construction line. You can delete it, but it may not. If I draw a line from there to there, perfect, and then go to features, go to revolve boss base, pick the center line. You see it's done it already. 360 is okay for that, but it doesn't have to go. It could just be 90 or 180. If I do 180, it's gone the opposite way, so just do that around that way. Give it a green tick. You can see it's just finished that off quite nicely, and I should do the same on this end. So if I go to sketch, and I want to sketch on that face, which is giving me, I'm going to draw convert entities. Okay, it's done it that way. I'm going to draw another line in from that top point down to that button point, and then go to features, go to revolve boss base. It's going to ask me to pick a line, which is done. It's contours, sorry. It's let me just take that sketch out. I should look at what I'm doing. Contours, that's that one. Select a line. Didn't see the line. No. Let's just go back a bit. Let me just change that to there. Let's see if I've actually got that line. Now, it's very difficult to see but let's just sketch another one in. I could actually just switch all that off so you could see. Let's go features, revolve boss base. Right, it's got the line there now. Let's go to contours. No, doesn't like it. Okay, let's just try and resolve this quickly. Let's just select all that. Let's delete that. Do that once more. Make sure I've got nothing in. So what are we doing? Got that sketch there. So we're in sketch. Let's go to convert entities. Okay, so I've got those lines there. Let me just delete this line. So I'm going to trim that one out. Let me just put another solid line in. Like that. And then go to features, go to revolve. Sorry, pick the wrong one. I'm rushing. Revolve boss base. It's asking me to line. Let's do that. There we go, it's done it now already. Let's just do 180. And there, we've just finished that off into that there. So there we go. We've got the thread on there. So our bottle is a bottle. You could put liquid in it now and do it. Now what I'll do in the next video is actually create a lid for it. It's not too complicated. I need to do something here as well to stop the lid coming down, but I'll do that in the next one. And I may have to adjust this here as well, but we'll see how we go in the third video.